we do the first in-depth discussion of an angle of cancellation. However, within the Orange Belt curriculum, we find examples where we're using that angle of cancellation over and over again. So while we explain it to the student in the Yellow Belt level, this is where we really have them learn to apply it in more situations. Okay? Cross-body check. Again, this is something that is something that could have been put on the Yellow Belt level as well. But like I said, when we were going over the Yellow Belt level, so many things are covered in that curriculum that you can't try to emphasize everything at once. But in this level, we're going to try to emphasize to them the cross-body check. They see the cross-body check initially in Mace of Aggression, right, where they're, boom, hitting and going across to the leg, and Checking the Storm, where they're kicking across to the lead leg, right? So there's elements of a cross-body check that are taught in the Yellow Belt level, but here in the Orange Belt level is where we're going to try to emphasize it as well, okay? Canceling zones goes back to angle of cancellation, right? The angle of cancellation should cancel all three zones, should cancel your opponent's height, his width, and his depth, right? And again, the discussion in the Yellow Belt level in the freestyle technique, we talked about how pulling the arm sideways cancels width, how pulling the arm down cancels height, how pulling at a 45 cancels height and width, and then the depth cancellation with the strike. All right, so canceling zones goes in with angle of cancellation. In order to have an angle of cancellation, you have to have canceled all these zones. Unless it's a partial angle of cancellation that just cancels one or more of the zones. Right? A lot of times we'll do things to cancel height, to keep his legs in check while we're working things. Lots of times we'll cancel his width, but for a true angle of cancellation, that's when we want to be canceling all of them. Okay, rounding the corner, right, boom, striking in a straight line and then making a rounded portion coming back. We'll see that. Tracking, here again in tracking, we have had this in the Yellow Belt. Specifically, one of the things that we do in Mace of Aggression, again, is after they come down here, we track over the shoulder, right? That's the initial action of tracking, right? But here's where we're going to be going ahead and emphasizing it more as well. Same thing with fitting. Again, in Mace of Aggression, boom, you hit with the hammer fist, this fits the nose. But here in the Orange Belt curriculum, like in the technique, front kick, thrusting salute, right? You hit them with, instead of a punch, you hit them with heel palm because their chin fits right in the hollow of your hand. That's another example of fitting. So while they were introduced to fitting in the Yellow Belt curriculum, this reinforces because they see more examples of how that works. Okay, anchored elbows is a base. Again, this is another one. Could have been put in the Yellow Belt fundamentals, but you could actually even put in the Yellow Belt fundamentals. We have to, emphasize them at different points. But anchored elbows is something that we all know that protects our body, allows us to generate more power without letting the elbows fly out. Opposing forces, right? And here's one we see, specifically in the technique of crossing talons, where you're hitting with the elbow and pulling them in at the same time. That's opposing forces, punches going out and back. A frictional pull. Frictional pull is something that we use to, lots of times I don't do frictional pulls. I just strike the hell out of their arm and pull them down. But, say like in low kimono, when you come up and hit here, right, and some people use a frictional pull coming down on the arm to pull them in. I don't. I come up and I just break the arm, re-break the arm, and then follow, right? But frictional is the use of friction on the body as you come down on the arm to cause them to come forward, as opposed to actually grabbing to pull them forward, right? So as you slide down, you create friction on the limb, and that pulls the opponent into the next movement usually. And then angle of departure. Angle of departure is finding a safe place to leave the confrontation. Orange Belt is where we start introducing the concept of the cover. And this is and the cover out is basically picking an angle of departure and then moving there safely. Okay, so these are the different concepts and principles that we're going to try to look at in the Orange Belt curriculum, along with all the ones that we had earlier in the Yellow Belt curriculum. But these are the new ones that we try to introduce and emphasize so the student has an understanding at least of what they are, right? If nothing else, at least of what they are. Okay, so from here, last time we were working on, I got to get my charts. Hold on a second, let me get my chart. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Do all of you own a copy of Ed Parker's Encyclopedia of Kempo?
This is Jason. I do.
Yes, no?
Yes, sir. I have mine.
No.
No? Okay. If you don't have a copy of it, you need to try to procure a copy of Ed Parker's Encyclopedia of Kempo. And when I put these principles and concepts down, you need to look it up and find, and read the definition of it so that you're real comfortable with what it is in terms of the definition. Okay? So get the orange belt chart out here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at kicking set. Okay? Everybody loves kicking set, don't we?
Yes, sir.
I can remember.
That's right. We all love kicking set. Okay, so we're going to adjust this so that we can see the map more. And if anybody needs more time to write those things down later, I'll turn it back to where you can see that. I'm going to look at the map. Yeah, okay, that's better. Okay. All right, so kicking set. Let me see here. Okay, so I can't see you, Ms. Rodriguez. I can barely see you right now. I'm going to see. All right, so I'm going to put this, there we go. I'm going to put the edge of the frame on the crest. So from the crest over is where our, yeah, there we go. Crest over is where it's going to be. Okay, so, all right, so kicking set. Tell me some things about kicking set.
All basic kicks.
Okay, so Mr. Duvall here in studio said the set can be done in a box or it can be done linear, and that is correct, right? There's actually three ways of doing kicking set. In the box pattern, the line back and forth pattern, and the straight line down, straight line back pattern. Everybody familiar with all those?
Yes.
We'll go through them briefly tonight, okay? The one that we usually use, that most people usually use when teaching this, simply for space considerations, is the lines back and forth. The lines back and forth. But you should be familiar with all three configurations. The box is the original pattern, and then the straight line forward and straight line back, right, is another one. Okay, so we're going to do ours. We can probably do the box. Yeah, we can probably do the box. I think we have enough room here to do the box. Okay. All right, so we'll do the box pattern first. Okay. Now, the things that I was asking about, okay, other things about kicking set. 4 lines contains one of each of the major kicks on each line: a front kick, a roundhouse, a back kick, a knife edge kick. If the student is repeating kicks on any single line, he's doing it wrong. Okay? There's no 2 front kicks, no 2 roundhouses, no repeating kicks. Okay? Every line starts with a different kick, and the kicks are paired. If you do a front kick, then you do a knife edge afterwards. If you do a back kick, you do a roundhouse kick afterwards. Vice versa. If you do a knife edge, and you do a front kick afterwards. And if you do a back kick, you do a round kick afterwards. Okay, so they're paired. So that's ways for them to remember the pattern to a certain extent, right? 4 sides, all 4 sides have something unique about them, right? First side is that it's the only side that does not repeat foot maneuvers. There's a separate foot maneuver for every kick. A step through front, a crossover knife, which is the only crossover that we have in the form, right? A crossover knife, a shuffle round, and a spin back. Okay, so all 4-foot maneuvers, all 4 kicks. 4-foot maneuvers and 4 kicks. Second side, all right leg kicks. Third side, all left leg kicks. Reverse order of the second side, and the last one is all kicks off the back leg. Okay, so keeping those things in mind when you teach this to somebody, it gives them a little bit of rules that they can use to try to remember the pattern. If they don't know the rules, then what ends up is they just have to try to remember, which one is this? Is this a front kick, or which one do I do now? What foot maneuver? So, all right, so keep that in mind. Okay? All right, everybody. And also, does everybody have the handout that I have on kicking set found in the charts?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you don't, text me and I can email you one. Okay? Or mail it to you. You know, my computer crashed with all my files. Everybody knows that, right? My hard drive. I still have the dead hard drive in there. It's going to cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars to try to retrieve the data. I'm still hoping to have the money to do that. But that's where all these things were on digital format. So now I have to make copies and send them out to you by the snail mail. And you know them damn mailman, they ain't worth a shit, none of them. They lose stuff in the mail all the time. They're not reliable.
Hey, sir.
You know, I can't trust them
Hey,
to
sir,
get
if
it
we
to you
have-
guys.
Sir, if we have it on file, you want us to...
There ain't a damn one of them that works at that place. It's worth a shit. I can tell you that. All right. So here we go. The kicking set. All right. Go over here, Mr. Rodriguez. They can see you right there. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so attention. Bow your head down and up. Step out, salute. Right leg back goes on guard. Okay, so first line. 4 different kicks, 4 different foot maneuvers. Right? Step through front kick. Front crossover knife edge. Shuffle roundhouse. And a spin back kick. Okay, now if we're doing the box pattern, when you get to the corner, you finish looking where you kicked. The box goes in a clockwise pattern on the first side. So you finish looking at where you kicked, look at your new opponent, and then step away with your back leg. Okay? Now, if you have a group of students at this point in time, that's where everybody shifts. They shift from facing this wall, you cover, and everybody shifts to this wall. Okay, so Ms. Rodriguez, you're back here, I'm back here. All right, so everybody shifts. This is the problem with doing it in the box if you have large groups. Okay? All right, second side, all right leg kicks. With your knife, shuffle front, shuffle roundhouse, shuffle back kick. Finish looking at where you kicked, look at your new opponent, step away with the back leg. Okay? Shift, guys. Third side, all left leg, reverse order of the second side. Okay? Spin back kick, shuffle roundhouse, shuffle front, shuffle knife. Step through. No, I'm doing the front to back. Okay, finish looking where you kicked. Look at your new opponent, step away. Okay, shift. Left side, all come off the back leg. Starts with a roundhouse. Step through roundhouse. Spin back kick. Step through front kick. Step through knife. Plant to a trailing horse. Salute. Okay, and then you step back with the left leg. And you're ready to do the pattern on the left side. Left side, it goes around counterclockwise. Okay? All right, so questions on that?
No, sir.
Yes, no?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Everybody's good on that. Okay, so now we do it going front to back. Okay? And front to back. Attention. Step out, salute. Right leg back. Okay? So first 4 kicks are all the same. Step through front. All right? Crossover knife. Shuffle round. Spin back. Okay. Changing to the next side on the front to back. After you finish the kick, do a step through, then cover, face the opposite direction. Right leg is back, all kicks on the right leg. Step through knife, shuffle front, shuffle roundhouse, shuffle back. Okay? Finish the last kick, You'll step through, cover to face the opposite direction. Third side, right? Reverse of the second side. Spin back. Shuffle roundhouse. Shuffle front. Shuffle knife. Okay, step through when you're done. Cover to face the opposite direction. Okay? All right, so last one, all off the back leg. Roundhouse. Spin back. Front. Knife. Finish by stepping through. Cover to face the opposite direction in your fighting stance. Step up and salute. Then you step back with the left leg and do all on the left side. Okay? All right. That is the most popular configuration because it takes less floor space. Okay? You can line everybody up. They go front to back, front to back, front to back, and they kind of stay in their own little space. Okay? So that's the one that probably most of you guys are using. Okay? Those of you who have clubs that are teaching this. Okay, the last one, okay, is in a line, continuous. Tension, bow, step out, salute, right leg back. Okay, so from here, you're basically going to do all 16 kicks in a row. Okay? Step through front. Crossover knife. Shuffle around. Spin back. Okay, that was the first side. Second side, step through knife. Shuffle front. Shuffle round. Shuffle back. That was the second side. Third side, spin back. Shuffle round. Shuffle front. Shuffle knife. We got a pretty long dojo. We're running out of room right here. Shift back. Okay. Third or last side, roundhouse. Spin back. Look over the shoulder when you kick, Dave. Front kick. Knife edge. From here to do the left side, you simply cover. And you're facing the opposite direction. You should have had the left side forward. Cover, facing the opposite direction. You got the left side back, and you do 16 kicks going in the other direction. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, that one, pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but you need a long, straight area. If you don't get like a hallway or something, you can do that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so questions on the configurations for kicking set. No? Okay.
No, sir.
Everybody get a water drink real quick. Well, I stayed home from work today. I had some sort of... Last night after class, the reason why you guys didn't see me, I just peered into the bathroom in there. I was like, oh, my God, my gut started going, you got to get to the bathroom fast. I wasn't nauseous. It was bowels, right? So I used the bathroom there. I got home. And about 30 minutes later, had to do it again. Right? I told Lee, I said, I don't feel good. I'm going to lie down in the middle of the night. Had to get up and do it again. 5 o'clock came around. Had to get up and do it again. That's when I called in. I just said, no, this is it. I'm not going in today. And then I was in bed. No. But just doing those kicking sets, I'm like, I felt myself getting weak. So I may not be demonstrating anymore. You guys may be demonstrating. I may be doing lecture. That's what you guys pay me for, my knowledge. Not my physical abilities, my knowledge. Okay. All right. So as you guys heard, I'm not feeling well this evening, so I may have the rest of them do the okay. I tell you what, one other thing we're going to go over. Okay, so at this point in time in the curriculum, we teach the first staff set. Okay, we teach the first staff set. And we can go ahead and do that tonight, okay? And I know some of you have been introduced to this staff set, but there's a few small changes. And, yeah, Sam, I know you're teaching this to your students, but there's a couple small changes that I want you to be aware of. Improvements, let's put it that way, okay? So let's get stabs, and we'll do the staff. Get the short ones. Get all the short ones. Yeah. Just for space considerations. Get all short. Okay, so for all of you, and most of you have had the demo staff that I made up years ago.
Yes.
Everybody familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The staff set that we made up for a demonstration that I put into the curriculum on Third Brown starts out with blocking set at the beginning of it. Okay, so when I started formulating these other staff forms, I started the first one with blocking set because the student has been introduced to blocking set already. Okay, so the first one is off the pattern of blocking set and short one, which means that when we get to the demo staff, which started at blocking set, we have now changed that to moving blocking set with the staff. Okay, so those of you who and you can always, if you're going to do it for a demo, you can always put in just the blocking set part like it is, like it's set up. But for curriculum purposes, for tests and whatnot, we will now be using moving blocking set at the beginning of that particular staff form. Okay, that particular staff form is now staff form 4. Okay, staff form 1 is the one we're going to go over now. It's based, like I say, on the pattern of short one. Staff form 2 is based on the pattern of long one, and it's done in 2 sections. Part A is the block strike section, and that's required for purple belt, and Part B is the triple section, and they're taught that at blue belt, and then they have the complete form. They can do the Part A as a separate form, like if they're going to do a tournament or something. They can do the Part A as a separate form. They can do it right and left. It works out fine, but they can't do Part B separate from Part A because Part B starts facing 6 o'clock. That's where the triple section starts on long one. Remember, so it starts facing in one direction, ends facing in another direction. That's staff form 2. Staff form 3 is a form called Sakwan from the Choi Li Foot system that I've had for years and years, but I'm starting to teach it now. The purpose of putting that one in is the fact that all of the forms that I have taught you, or not taught you, but have developed, including the standard Kempo staff set, all use the stick in this direction, primarily holding the stick in this manner, where you have the stick divided into thirds by your hands, right? So it tends to work in close. Sakwan works the stick at the long end, right? So I put Sakwan in there for some work using the stick, right, at its full length. All of the forms have elements of using the stick at the full length, like in the Kempo staff form, the one that does this, boom, it comes around on this one here, right? It has that part where you come here, and then you slide out to the end, and you swing the staff, and you're using the staff at its length that way. So all of them have elements of that. And in Kempo, in the staff set 2, there's strikes I use that, boom, the stick comes down, you grab the end, and you use the length of it. So there are elements of using stick at length in all of them, but in Sakwan, it uses it at length just about the whole time. Okay, that's staff set 4. Staff set 5, no, wait a minute, 1, 2, that's staff set 3. Staff set 4 is the demo staff, one, and it's still in the requirement for green or brown? No, Sakwan's for green.
Brown.
Purple, blue, Sakwan's for green. Yeah, it's the same place it used to be. It's still for Third Brown, right? It's still at the same spot. But again, we're going to be using moving blocking set at the beginning with it instead of the stationary blocking set. Okay, that staff form 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, staff form 5 is the Parker staff form, the one that was in the system before, okay? And then after that, I have a spear set that I teach. And the reason why I teach a spear set is because, again, it uses the stick at length. But the spear set configuration, it's taught with the stick in the back with the right hand. Sock on is taught with the stick in the back with the left hand. Now, you can do it on both sides, for sure, right? But sock on emphasizes, boom, the front hand as the primary, emphasizes the left hand, boom, you use the front hand a lot. And then spear set uses, right, the back hand for thrusting, which can be pokes. In a spear set, obviously, it would be a stab, right? But you can use the pokes. In places where they use slashes, you can use them for strikes as well, okay? So I put the spear set back in because, again, it's more stick work that works at the end of the stick instead of at the beginning. So we have stuff that works this way. We have stuff that works this way. We have stuff that works this way, right? So we get a good overall view of how to use the stick. Okay, everybody familiar with that, or not familiar? Everybody has questions on that?
No,
That's
sir.
a basic overview of where they come. Okay, all right. So now we're going to do staff form 1, right, which is taught at orange belt level. Because at orange belt level they have already been introduced to blocking set and short form 1, and those are the two patterns that we use with the stick to develop staff form 1. Okay, so here we go. Start with the stick under the right arm at attention position, right? You bow, boom, bring the stick out, into both hands, throw it up, grab it in the salute position, right? Twist, cat. As you step back, it slides down on the arms, comes up, grabs, boom. From here, step out into a training horse stance, and we do blocking set with the stick. Up, right arm in, right arm out, right arm down. This hidden block portion now, which covers the side of the body, we do by coming to a cat and bringing the stick out in a vertical position to cover the body. And then the push down is done by pushing straight down. Other side, left, up, in with the left, out with the left, down with the left, block, right, and push down. Okay, now we follow the pattern. Let's move up, guys. Now we follow the pattern of short number 1. Step back, inward with the right hand. Slide back to the twist, unwind, inward to the left hand. Okay? The timing on this is the timing that is done in linear short ones. Okay? No double factors. Okay? Because you can't double factor when you're hanging on to each end of the stick. So from here, step and cover with the back side, outward front side. Okay? Slide back into the twist, unwind, outward front side. Okay? Shift your foot, cover. Okay. Now, change the hand position on the bottom hand, turning the fingers down and cupping the stick with the bottom hand. Slide to a cat, push up at a 45-degree angle, and this is the upward block. Okay. From here, change the grip back, slide to a twist, and cover. Now change the grip on the bottom hand, slide up to the cat, and there's your second upward block. Change the hand back, step to a forward bow, and cover with the back side. Okay? Now, this is where, scoot over that way a little bit, Mary. Okay. This is where, Sam, this may have changed for you, right? Because from here, now we're going to do a downward block, and when you do the downward block, you stay in the forward bow. Go ahead, downward block. Stay in the forward bow, Mary. There you go. Okay. Now from here, you're in a forward bow, step straight back to another forward bow, and do the other downward block. Then step out to the horse. And then you do the left side. Inward, left. Step back, inward, right. All right. Step, cover, back hand. Outward, front hand. Slide back to the twist, unwind, outward, front hand. Shift your foot, cover, back hand. Change the hand position. Fingers pointing down, cup the stick, slide to the cat, and block up. change that hand position back, slide to a twist, and cover with that hand. With that hand, David. That hand. There you go. You're in a twist. Okay. Change the position of the other hand, your left hand, which is down low. Slide to the cat and block up. Okay. Change the hand back. Step to a forward bow. Stay in the forward bow, downward block. Stay in the forward bow. There you go. Step all the way back to another forward bow, downward block. Step out to the horse. Feet together. Throw the stick up. Twist. Cat. Back. Down. Over to the shoulder. And down. And bow. Okay. Now, Sam, when I showed you guys this at that camp, we were using a neutral bow for the downward block, were we not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The reason why I changed it is because of doing this block under the arm like this, it's hard to get this block to come all the way across the body if you stay in the neutral bow configuration. But by turning into the forward bow, it allows the block to come all the way over and clear the side of the body. See what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the change. That's the only change from what you saw. Is there anything else that I've done differently? Because the form has gone through some developmental stages. I want to make sure that you have it at the right, all the things that I'm working on now. Did you see anything else that was different?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. And you understand the reasoning about the forward bow now?
Yes, I like that quite a bit.
Yeah. When you do that cover, that low cover, boom, you need to get to the forward bow to be able to make that happen, right? And then you just stay right in that forward bow when you do the downward block. And then from there, step back to the other forward bow, boom, and you're again be able to cover it all. So those two blocks are done in the forward instead of the neutral. Okay?
Okay.
All right, the rest of you guys, I know some of you have not been introduced to this. Jose, I taught this to you, didn't I? Yes. You guys know that one, right?
Yes, sir. And I showed you the forward bow and the downward block.
All right, good. Okay. But, David, you haven't had this form yet, have you?
No, sir.
Okay, all right.
No.
Okay, and Roman, have you seen this one?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, we'll try to get some time to go over that one with you guys a little bit more in depth. When each of you have a little bit of room that you can work in and actually do it with me, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
We'll try to set up some time where it's just you guys and me so that we can go over this because the rest of you guys are pretty familiar with it. Jason, you got this one, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I do.
Okay. Then let's just go ahead and move on then. Everybody is familiar with it. Does anybody have any questions on it? Those of you guys who have had it before, anybody have any questions on it, any problems that you've encountered?
What belt is it introduced at? What belt is this one introduced at?
Yeah, it's a requirement
Orange, okay.
for orange now. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Yeah. It's a requirement for orange, and then Staff Form 2, Part A, is a requirement for purple. That's the block strike sequence. And then for blue, they learn the last half of that, the Staff Form 2, Part B. And Staff Form 2 is the one based on the Long One series. And again, just like it's based on that series, there are differences due to the fact that we're working with the weapon. The general pattern is the same, but there's differences. Okay. So that's for blue. And then when they get to green, they do Safwan. When they get to brown, they do the demo staff, which is where it always was. When they get to second brown, they do the Parker staff set, which is where it always was. And when they get to first brown, that's where I put the spear set in, which is new as well. Okay. So this way, what we've done is we've allowed the student to be working with weapons from when they start out working with weapons, they're yellow belts. And they continue working with this weapon all the way up through until they're, close to a black belt. So it gives them a more comfortable feel and familiarity with the weapon. Okay, let's put our stabs away. All right. Were there any questions on the floor about the set?
We're just going through it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so what we went over last time was the orange belt freestyle techniques and the orange and we also went past we did the kicking series and we went actually past the orange belt, right? Because we went all the way from the snapping kicks to the knees to the thrusting kicks, right? Knees and stomps to the thrusting kicks. Okay. So let's quickly go over some of the basics real fast tonight. Review those. Okay. So the stances required for orange belt are the reverse knee, or the reverse bow, the wide kneel, and the close kneel. Okay. So reverse bow. Here we are in the neutral. Boom. We go to a forward bow. We turn the back foot, and we shift the weight 60-40. Okay. Back to the neutral. Turn the front foot and shift the weight 40-60. Okay. Now, from the 45-degree configuration, when we go to the forward bow, we square up completely. All right. So as I go to this forward bow, boom, I'm squaring up completely this way. Okay. Back to the neutral bow. Go to the reverse bow, and now I'm silhouetting myself. Okay. So there's a body configuration difference. Okay. Forward bow, boom. We take our full width. Reverse bow, boom. We narrow our width as much as possible. Now we all know the reasons for the forward bow in order of importance are power, extension, bracing angle, launch, and cover, correct? That's the 5 purposes of the forward bow in order of importance. Power first, right? Primary thing that you're going into a forward bow for is for power. Use of body rotation, right? Generating backup mass. Extension is next. It strikes off the backside. Unless you bring your body around to the front, you can't reach it, okay? Bracing angle, locking the leg down, right? So that you are, good, firm, in place position against force coming in at you. This is the difference between the forward bow and the high kneel, okay? High kneel gives you power, gives you extension, does not give you the bracing angle. If you're doing the technique alternating maces, I block the punch and I go to a high kneel and I hit him with this punch, boom, he's probably going to push me back, right? Because I don't have the ground, I don't have the bracing angle to stop him. The bracing angle gives you that stopping force that the high kneel doesn't. What I look at in terms of the difference between using a high kneel and a forward bow is that a high kneel is primarily, in that rotation, is primarily offensive. And a bracing angle with the forward bow is used defensively. Right? Okay, so there's your bracing angle. Launch is the initiation of the backup mass going forward in any particular movement is often done by the rotation of the forward bow, the weight shift onto the front leg, and then after that, boom, you continue and you go ahead and keep the mass moving in a forward direction. That's your launch, right? And then the cover is by keeping the knee in, you close off the groin to a certain extent as you do this. Take those 5 and put them in reverse. Go cover, launch, bracing angle, extension, and power. And that's the purposes, right, in the orders of importance for the reverse bow. First one, as you rotate and you put yourself right at the amount of width, right, so facing you, when I do this, this is my cover, right? I'm covering my targets, okay? So the reverse bow covers the target. Launch refers to launching you, in the launch of the forward bow, refers to launching you towards your opponent to get the backup mass going forward. The launch in the reverse bow refers to launching you away from your opponent to escape an attack, okay? So we got cover, launch, okay? Bracing angle is you use the reverse bow in an offensive way, okay? Neutral bow, Ms. Rodriguez, right? From here, I'm going to do a step through, and I'm going to come in and buckle. Oh, and as I buckle, I go into my bow, and that buckle, I'm using my bracing angle, but it's using it in an offensive way instead of in a, right, it's just an offensive use of the bracing angle. Let me put it that way, right? So from here, as I do that buckle this way, right, that's a offensive use of that bracing angle to disrupt my opponent's balance, okay? Right? Extension, extending the targets away from your opponent. When we do extension in the forward bow, we're extending our weapons towards our opponent's targets. That's the extension we're talking about. In the reverse bow, we're taking the target areas, the center line, and as you go to the reverse bow, my body shifts a little bit this way as I put my weight onto my back leg. So here's where it was, here's where it is. It's this much of an extension of these center line targets away from my opponent, okay? And then power is the last one, and the fact that when you rotate into the reverse bow, lots of times you can get a little bit extra power than if you stayed in the neutral bow, okay? All right, questions on that?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No? Everybody see how that works? Okay. All right, and the last thing, last couple we're going to do is a wide kneel and a close kneel. A wide kneel is a dropped neutral bow. A close kneel is a dropped forward bow. Okay? So we get a wide kneel stance, a neutral bow stance. And to go into a wide kneel, you simply go up on the ball of the back foot and drop that back knee down. Right? Distance between the knee and the ground is thumb to finger, like the Hawaiian party sign, right? Boom. That's as far as you got. Boom. Come down, and then back up to the neutral. Again, boom, down. There you go, Dave. Back up to the neutral. Yeah, get that knee to stay out. Don't let the knee drop in. Knee drops in, you're going into the close kneel. Right? So one more time. Out. Boom. There you go. And then up. That's the wide kneel. Okay? Forward bow. Okay? Forward bow. Boom. Drop the knee. There's your close kneel. Distance is 2 finger lengths off the ground. Boom. And up. Yeah, 2 finger lengths. Right there, 2 finger lengths. Okay, one more time. So forward bow. All right, drop it down. And there's your close kneel. Boom. Okay, so hold on one second. Okay, so Infinite Insights, Volume 2, Analytical Study of the Wide Kneel. Kneel stance, wide kneel. Okay, reasons and purpose for the wide kneel, okay? Drop in height gives added power using gravitational marriage to avoid an attack, better access to low targets, can act as a pin or a check, and gives greater stability than a close kneel. Let's put it that way. Okay? So, drop in height for extra power. That's like Dance of Death uses a wide kneel, right? Drop in height, boom. As you're hitting with the strike to the groin, okay? Better access to lower targets, boom, as you're hitting the strike to the groin, hitting the legs, okay? Pin or a check, you see it done in thundering hammers, okay? Now, you look at close kneel, and reason and purpose, drop in height for added power, avoids an attack, allows better access to low targets, can act as a pin, check, or be used to fracture is instability. Okay, where do we see it used as a fracture?
Evading the storm.
C. What? Say it again?
Evading the storm.
Very good.
Evading the
All right,
storm.
brownie points. Was that you, Sam?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good job, Sam. Yes. In evading the storm, right? Last movement in evading the storm. Block, counter grab, kick, punch, knee, and bam, drop. Boom. Right there. Okay? That's the example of using the knee in the offensive manner. Okay? All right. Questions on the reverse throw, the wide kneel, or the close kneel?
No, sir.
Okay. Questions on the staff form? Questions
No, sir.
on kicking set? Or questions on these principles and concepts? Staff form 1, or staff set 1. I'm not sure if I'm calling it set or form. All right, that's number 1. Number 1, yeah. I just got them all numbered, just like Mr. Parker has short one, long one. You know, I figure, we got a lot of them. We just staff form 1, staff form 2, staff form 3, staff form 4, staff form 5. Just like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. You guys have any questions?
No, sir.
No? Okay. All right. That's going to do it, guys. I'm feeling kind of weak tonight, so sorry about my weakened condition for this evening. Don't have any questions, then we will adjourn for this evening, and I will see you all online next week, and we will start moving into, we're going to finish up with the rest of the basics and try to start moving into some of the techniques on the orange belt. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good, guys. So I'm going to salute you guys out. I'm going to salute the class out, and I'm going home. Okay. All right. Pitching. Step out, salute. Center. Out.